Okay, so this is the chart that I give my students when we learn subnetting. I do a quick lesson on like the theory behind subnetting, but this is the actual chart. I will even give them a blank sheet of printer paper, and they have to draw this from scratch. Now, it's good to have the cider notation. It's up to you if you want to have them write out the binary, but I would at least have them do the last octet here because that's what changes. And then, you've got your subnets, your host addresses, which is total addresses minus two for the network and broadcast addresses, and then your subnet mask. So if they can regurgitate this chart as soon as they step into their AP test, and it's pretty like intuitive, then they should be able to subnet any size uh, uh, not any side. They should be able to do a Class C, which I think is probably all they're going to be asked to do on the AP test, because the math gets pretty high and you're not allowed to have a calculator. So that's just my personal opinion and gamble there. So let me just go over this chart in this video, and then I'll do another video where I show you like kind of it in practice. But we're starting with a /24 network, and we're going to break it apart. So the next logical step, in order to subnet, we have to borrow a bit from the host portion. If you remember, the network portion is all the ones on the left, and then this one would have been a zero. So all of these would be zeros. That's the host portion. So in order to subnet, in order to break it in half, we have to borrow a bit from the host portion and put it on the network portion. So we're adding a 1 here. We're changing the 0 to a 1. What that does is it splits it in half and it gives us two subnets. Just like if we had a circle and we put a line right down in the middle, right? When we do that, we had 256 addresses total, but now we have two subnets of 128 addresses. And then for the subnet mask, if we just convert this to binary, 255, 255, 255, and then this in binary is 128. If we do it again, we split it again. So if we have that circle, and let's say we have, or you know, square, we go this way, and then we split it that way. We now have four subnets of 64 each. And again, we had to borrow another bit to do that. And you'll see the pattern as we go down. But one thing that helps students remember is that if we look at the subnets and the total addresses, anytime you multiply those together, they have to equal 256. So all of these multiplied together equal 256. And we go all the way. I only do a /30 because that's the highest you're going to go, because you're never going to have less than two hosts. And so that would be 255, 255, 255, 252 is this one right here. So if they can memorize this chart, like I said, I make it a major grade. And then again, the Saturn notation, just a reminder, is how many ones are in the network portion. So we started with 24 and we added one, so we're 25, 26, 27. And then again, you subtract two over here to get this is how many hosts you can assign on that subnet. All right, so I'm going to stop there, and then I'll do another video where we go through and do an actual thing here. So.